Bet.
Yeah.
What up?
Well, speaking of stuff that's going to come out, how about stuff that already came out, like FF14?
What?
What about it?
Oh, what?
Tell us about it.
Didn't we just talk about how you weren't gonna play this game? Like, just not,
Yeah.
not an
Yeah.
hour?
No. Let me explain what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about this dude, the Lazy Peon on YouTube. He does MMO reviews, and he's like, I think he's one of the bigger channels that does MMO reviews, for like the community and stuff. And he posted a review of FF14, and he got so much backlash on it because he disliked the game. And the reasons that he disliked the game are kind of questionable, and I wanted to bring it up with you guys and see your thoughts.
Gimme.
So he basically just said that the leveling experience in FF14 was slow and it was awful. And in FF14, apparently, there are like different expansions, right? Like Heaven's Ward and like, was it Storm something?
Stormbringer.
Yeah, and then the new one, right? And so you have to play through the story of the main game, A Realm Reborn, and then Heaven's Ward, and then the next one, and then the next one to get to the latest expansion. And they offer like some kind of a potion that you can buy where it like jumps you to the next expansion. You can just skip an entire expansion.
Oh,
And
interesting.
just jump into the expansion, the latest one, I mean. And he thought the leveling was so tedious and boring that he just bought the potion and skipped like 1 or 2 expansions, I think. And then he posted his review on the game like that, like skipping through an entire portion of the game. And so a lot of the FF14 community was really upset with the way he handled his review because they thought it was unfair.
Nice.
No, it's no problem. They thought it was unfair that he just skipped through like content in the game, like potential content that a lot of fans of the game thought was really, really good story-wise. And yeah, people gave him a lot of hate. He had like 5.6k dislikes. It was like split 50-50
Damn.
likes and dislikes on this video. And then he pulled the video down.
I was looking for it. I was about to say I can't find
he
it.
pulled it down? What the
He
fuck?
pulled it down, and then apparently he posted something on Twitter about getting death threats. That seems kind of fishy.
What a
Or like
beezy.
seems over dramatic, if anything.
I don't know. The internet reacts to worse.
Yeah, but that's the general gist of the situation. And so I wanted to bring up the questions of what you guys find important in games, particularly MMOs. Like a lot of people hail FF14 as a great MMO for its story, and I don't know how important that is to you guys as MMO players or just gamers in general.
Maybe it's because we haven't had a good, like, the good story experience for an MMO is like WoW, right? WoW is like the I mean,
It's lore, super lore based.
A lot of people are very interested in WoW story.
The exception, a couple of exceptions.
That's why people are so pissed about Battle of Azeroth, because people don't like the way the story's going.
Sylvanas is a cunt.
Yeah, but like also Garrosh was a cunt. Everybody feels like this is Mr. Pandaria all over again, where we fucking killed the evil Horde leader once again, like for the fucking like.
Why did you make the Horde evil? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, no, but like also the Thrall is like the good guy. Thrall is good Horde. Thrall shows like the Horde can be good.
Thrall is fucking, was it Noah from the fucking Bible?
Yeah. So like story is very important to people. Like I wouldn't discount story at all.
Literally the only reason I wanted to play World of Warcraft. So, like,
Literally the only reason why I want to play Final Fantasy 14, because I want to experience that story, the whole story. I think he's doing a disservice by not reviewing the entire Final Fantasy 14 experience. But if he was just reviewing Shadowbringers, if he was just reviewing Shadowbringers, I'd understand.
It's not too clear. He just posted a video trashing FF14 like in general. So
Oh,
I'm not really
okay.
sure what he was going after there.
Yo, Devil's Advocate. Game sucks. I only play MMOs for mechanics.
Oh, really?
It's more important to me. Really more important to me.
Did he not like the mechanics? Is that?
It's tab targeting and
Tab targeting.
You know,
old
it's
school.
not anything innovative, but
Yeah, it's
you know,
not innovative.
it gets the job done. It's It keeps things.
It's gotta
Top
have.
targeting.
Oh,
Top targeting is good. I don't know, like
What is that?
if it's not
What's
broke,
top
don't.
targeting?
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
it's like you don't have to like move your mouse to play the game.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
F1 tab next target. F5
Finally, I can
AOE
save
quick.
my wrist.
Tab again. F2 CC.
Because I like playing MMOs with the controller.
Also, isn't it
Oh.
like WoW where there's like global cooldowns on like all your skills when you use a skill or something, like fucking 2 seconds, something like that.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Play
Like, anyways, isn't it a lot like WoW? Like I'm told it's a lot like WoW. It's so good.
It's very, very close. The gameplay. I play both.
Yeah.
Very close.
I mean, I've always wanted to get into it, but if we're talking about how important story is, if we just want to get back on topic, like super, like for me, super important. I've said
MMOs.
before, yeah, for MMOs, I've said before that story is super important to me. Like story probably takes precedent over everything else to me.
Was
Like
Black Desert good?
that, I think that's why I fell off of Black Desert
Because of story?
Because
I was
there's
about
no
to say,
story.
Story shit.
Yeah.
I don't remember
There's no
anything. I just
story.
wanted to get a house.
Yeah,
What's
there
the
is no
story?
story in video.
What's to say?
Gameplay and house.
But the MMOs that hit with me, like, are the ones that where I followed the story. Vindictus has a fucking story, and I was following that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
that's-
and the fucking what's her name dies at the end of the first season. Fuck me.
Ugh.
Ah.
Spoilers.
Oh no.
she
I
didn't
thought that was
die.
a big for
but-
the longest time.
But
Yeah, I think it's unfair for him to judge it as like segments that like to just pick out things and not as a whole. But also, if he would have just been like, oh well, you know, I'm just judging it on this, then it's fine, right?
Yeah, he had to make. He had to have made it clear, like judging on
Yeah.
these only.
Like based on the gameplay, this is what I don't like. And if he didn't care about the story, other people that don't give a shit about the story and just want an MMO would really appreciate that, you know, biased opinion.
A
But
toxic community.
toxic community, but everybody, you know, defend their baby regardless of situation or whatever.
Okay.
But
Let
like
me-
when I played Dark Souls for the first time, I didn't have Xbox Live, so I played through the whole thing by myself. And then once I got online and I played with like you fuckers, I felt like a whole chunk of the game was missing for me afterwards, and I couldn't play it any other way. You know,
yeah.
so you gotta judge things as a whole, also the way it was meant to be judged.
But if you judge it as a whole, you're missing a huge chunk of it because it's a whole.
You're right.
He's doing the
Making stupid puns.
he's doing the reviews. He's doing reviews a disservice by not judging the entire experience, because that's what a
Right.
review is.
You got to get it out quick, bro. That's his fault.
You
Oh.
do have to get it out quick, but then don't review the entire game. Review a portion of the game then. A
If
lot
he's-
of people
uh,
won't.
If he's known for
lot
doing
of
the
people-
whole thing, mostly he should have done the whole thing. Otherwise, he fucked himself.
Then he should have delayed the review.
fault
Like
then.
that's his fault.
All right, let me flesh things out a bit more. So
Flesh.
there's this other guy named Scott, and he religiously plays FF14. He's like committed hardcore to the game, and he
What
was
class? What class does he play?
He plays a bunch of different classes.
You can
Oh,
swap
okay.
anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You can swap.
Yeah, so he was watching the review, and then he was actually even though he was criticizing Peon's review of the game, he was also very sympathetic and very understanding of his situation. What he thinks, Peon's like a really big YouTuber. He's got like, I don't know, close to 500K or more subs, and every video he puts out, there are people asking him to review FF14, and this guy thinks that Peon sort of just like got fed up with the people that kept asking him to review the game,
Ooh,
even though he didn't want
spiteful
to play it.
review.
And yeah, so he just like pumps out a video where he just shits on it so that people get off his back. But then he got
Oh.
backlash for it. So
Not gonna lie, pussy. Don't put the video down. It's just like video game review, dude.
That's part
Keep
of
it
it
up.
too.
Keep it
That's a part of it too. Like people pull down reviews for like plagiarism, or people pull down reviews for like people pull down reviews because they clearly haven't played the game or clearly don't understand the mechanics. Pulling down a review because you got backlash, like fuck off.
Yeah, especially on a video game review. Like maybe if
Like-
you reviewed like some political shit, yeah, maybe.
Like at least stand by your product. Like
True.
when you like come on.
Preach.
This is my fucking dumpster fire. I will keep warm with it.
Honestly, hearing this makes me want to play Final Fantasy 14 more, just so I can get the like feel of it.
So you could be more offended, young.
No, I mean, like, though everything I've seen of Final Fantasy 14 is like it looks fun.
Looks great.
Oh, every time I see it, it's a guy just sitting there raiding, dying, sitting there waiting for a party raiding. I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh, really? Every time,
Endgame
honestly, every time I see it, it's all cool, like fucking Final Fantasy. Fucking Dragoon jumping around all over the place, Dragon Knight just eating his own HP away to like damage the guy, like super cool.
It seems it's pretty standard old school style for me. MMO. I wouldn't. Get
I
into
mean, that's what I would want though.
that. Yeah. Play some
Like
WoW.
what kind of new MMO would that would innovate the story and would change mechanics would be like super into.
I just care about gameplay, so it just it's got to be more action based. That's it. I can't get into old school.
Well, like what
RPG.
kind of action are you looking for then out of a modern MMO?
What's that one? Oh, I forgot what it's called. There was like little furry people in that one.
What?
Terra, something like that.
Little furry people.
More innovative. But like
Wait, what was Terra? I didn't know. Like explain.
Oh, okay. Who played it the
You
most?
didn't play Terra?
No, I did not play
Ben,
that.
explain Terra more.
I didn't play it that much. I played it with our mutual friend Anthony.
That's why I didn't play it that much. I played a little bit of it, but I haven't.
It's like an action RPG,
Yeah.
MMO style. Well,
But, like,
Final
there's no,
Fantasy
like-
is like, oh, there's some glowing crap on the ground. Let me move out of the way.
But there's no like weak points or anything in Terra, right? There's no like you attack this body part or like.
There is. There's your standard, like if you attack from the back you get, or the side you get more stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Just give me Fantasy Star 2. We're good.
Yeah.
Instant space. That's not
Yeah.
too big.
Yeah, exactly.
Whew. I think instant space MMOs are probably like really good.
Yeah, I think it doesn't complicate things as much. That helps.
You
I
just
mean,
teleport,
technically-
do whatever you want.
I mean, isn't technically Destiny instant space? So wouldn't you be super into that?
FPS console mostly. Nah, I'm not into.
I mean, FPS MMOs like we don't get into that enough. I feel like, but isn't that the gameplay? Like that's gameplay, right? Like that's. I feel like that'd be more of the thing.
You gonna play
You're
that?
interested more in gameplay.
I don't think I would like MMO FPS that much.
Okay.
I'll play Borderlands because it's mostly like, a couple people, instance kind of. Open
But they
world.
don't style it as an MMO. They style Destiny as an MMO.
Yeah, GG. No.
They style Borderlands as like action adventure.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't honestly.
No, you're right.
Yeah. But
Ben, how do you feel about all this shit?
Oh, I'm just laughing at the reviewer guy. To be, I think it's a total bitch.
You think? Yeah, he's a bitch, right? Put it back up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a total pussy. Like
That's the title. Don't be a bitch.
Wow.
Like even if you
title
got, like,
of the podcast is up. Week 4. Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch.
Because like even if he got all this like pressure to make the video, right? Like the way if he made that video just to shit on the game as a reaction to his fans wanting him to make a review, that's pretty unprofessional and it's not well thought out. That's one. But since he already put it out there, like he took it down afterwards. So
That means he didn't care about his work.
it was mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
Why fucking
Or-
make it?
Either that or he has a shaky like opinion that can be easily swayed. Apparently.
You should tweet at him, Ben. Be like, I'm gonna kill you if you don't put it back up.
You kidding me, dude?
I'm gonna kill you. Put it back up right now.
You know, I'm a very opinionated person. So when like I have an opinion, I stand by that opinion. Like the whole
Except Gen 5.
Egg Rolls argument. Like I still stand by that argument. Like I will not back. Like I'm the kind of person that won't back down. Is like his thoughts.
Egg roll.
I
So
don't-
for
I
this-
don't
so
know
for
what
this
the
guy-
argument is.
Egg
I mean,
roll?
we can talk about that.
Explain?
Yeah, well, we can talk about that after. We can talk about that after. No, it's gonna go too long. No, like
Uh-oh.
we
It's
can't,
gonna
we
go
can't
too
do
long.
this.
It went on for
But
like 2
what I'm
hours,
saying, what I'm
it
saying is, you need to stand by. Like he should stand by his work.
Yeah.
Like that's just how I feel about the whole situation.
Hey.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah. Lazy peon, bitch. Just kidding.
Wow.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Hey, stand by your man.
Man.
Stand.